Whoa! What a show we got here today, Dani. What do you think?
What an opening! I mean,
that's quite an opening.
Wait a second.
We're still whoa. We're still. You can't say anything yet. We're still going to talk about how you were late today.
Okay. We open every show with this, so
because
just
Dani's
FYI.
late every show, except for one time that I was actually really late. So you have a few more episodes.
John
to be
was
late.
4 hours late. So every
not late.
Every episode,
that's just fucking wow.
Yeah.
Every episode, I'm like conservatively anywhere from 1 to 30 minutes late.
Wow.
Right.
Today I was 3 minutes late, and I actually saw our guest. He was running out the door, and I was coming in, and I was like, "Did John scare him away already? Like, wait, come back." And so, and I was like, "I'm going to see you up there, right?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, don't worry." I'll be
today.
back."
So
yeah.
Dani, this is like monumental for us. What do you got?
Oh my God, I'm so excited. This is great. Like
I
I'm
could
so
tell
excited.
she's excited.
I'm so excited.
She looks excited to me.
Come on, let's do it.
Well,
all right.
Without further ado, everybody, today in the All Things Parking with Dani and John studio, we have a legend in our presence. We have Mr. Mark Jackson. Everyone.
Former wide receiver, Denver Broncos.
7 seasons with the Broncos. Also formerly with the Colts and the New York Giants.
Ooh, wow. Dani did her research. Holy shit. I didn't realize you were with the Giants. Nice.
I'm just getting started here. So
all I think about is that drive. I remember where I was and we'll talk about that.
We're going to talk about that, John. Let's not jump to,
I know.
Come on, let's save it. Anyways.
I'm just here. I'm excited.
So everybody, please welcome to the studio, Mr. Mark Jackson. And the crowd goes wild.
Oh, wait, I have
wrong
there's the crowd. Yeah, baby.
Yeah. We use that.
We have a crowd. Yeah, we have a crowd
welcome,
here.
Welcome to the studio. And thank you so much for being here. We're so excited to have you, as you can tell my excitement.
It's been a long... Obviously, our thought process was we highlight things on this show, and success is one of those. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what you're doing, doesn't matter where you're coming from. You know, you could be parking, you could be a banker, you could be this, you could be that, you could be that. But obviously, somebody that made it to the NFL and went to your level in football and being an athlete, that's a success story that, you know, we're interested in, and so are our listeners. So that's kind of what we're diving into today.
Yeah, the story of success, right? It's mental. It's not just mental. It's physical. It's emotional. It's the level of success that it takes for you to get to where you were is huge. So
where he still is. Let's not forget about that. That's another part.
Roll of the dice.
Yeah.
Well,
so tell us.
Okay, first and foremost, please introduce yourself a little bit. I want to give you the opportunity to let everyone know who's listening who you are. Like, please, when you introduce yourself, how do you introduce yourself?
There's a lot of Bronco fans.
My name is Jose Manus. You wouldn't know that. You probably wouldn't even know that.
Yeah,
that's the Ed Sullivan Show.
Really?
Google it. Jose Manus. So that was on so just so you know who I am, I had that on my voicemail answer machine. So if you call me, even today, if my voicemail gets full, it'll say, "My name Jose Manus."
Wow.
So what's the story behind that? Come on, let's hear it.
Let's hear that story. Were you on the Ed Sullivan Show?
A friend of mine saved me from Las Vegas, actually. Okay. And I was just in a place in my life where I didn't want to talk to anybody.
Okay.
So that was my voicemail message.
Oh, wow.
And everybody inevitably would call back like, "Oh, maybe I dialed that wrong."
That's pretty cool, actually. So I could make up a name and put it on my voicemail. And, if I didn't want to talk to anybody. Yeah. God, what would my name be, Dani?
Oh, gosh. What would your name?
Holy shit.
It couldn't even be, but this is the thing, John, about you is you have such a unique voice that people would already be like, it's fucking bullshit. Like that is right. John Conway. John.
Yeah. She's right about that. Yeah. People know my voice.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you could not pretend to not be.
I just have to acknowledge this. So in the opening, it said, "In representing the young generation, Dani." Then representing the old ass generation, John. What's that all about?
I think when we set up the show, it was a drunken moment.
I got you.
And with Dani and a lot of other people in the industry.
I mean, yes and yes and no, right? Because like we went out, like this was our whole idea to have the podcast was over drinks, of course.
Yeah.
And so I have only been
Dani got me drunk again.
No, someone was like, "You guys, oh my God, your banter is so great. You guys should have a podcast." And John and I we were like, okay, whatever. And then the next day we called each other. One of us called someone.
Spend about $300,000 in video and audio equipment.
You like the equipment?
That's when you got money.
And in the studio.
High five.
And we literally were like, should we have a podcast? And so to go back to answer your question, I've been in the industry for only a certain amount of years.
Yeah.
And so I literally tripped into the industry, and I came from radio. I was actually in radio before I got into parking.
Got it.
John's been in the industry for
29 years.
Actually, I think it's 30 now. I think
we got to redo that. I can do a voiceover for you.
Yeah.
And John Conway's been in No.
Oh, wait. So now we know who's going to do all of our voiceovers.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, full disclosure, when we were talking about this, I thought Dani was younger than she was.
She's not really representing the younger generation. She's just new to the industry.
Yeah, I got to be full disclosure.
Dani 50 and new to
looks
the
like
industry.
she's in her 20s or early 30s. I had no idea how old she really was. So really, anybody listening out there, we probably need to recast this show
What if
next
you're
year
watching?
and bring somebody that's actually young in
John's
here.
like, can we please get somebody?
We've been fooling everybody.
You would be in a lot of trouble if you brought someone in who was in their like late 20s, John. I mean, we already have a good time on the show.
I know.
You'd
right?
have like,
you know what? You look the part, so we're good with that.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that.
I'll be the old ass guy.
I like it.
Anyway, you notice our signs, Dani.
Yeah.
They change colors. So for those of you that tune in on YouTube and can see all the pictures, we have the orange and blue in favor of in representation of the Broncos.
It's just coincidental. I have my orange and blue or my orange shirt on today.
Is it coincidental?
I met at Dove Valley. I wasn't doing it for this show.
I was like,
I would not have done it for this show actually, but I was just too lazy to go home and
they're getting ready.
Bring another shirt.
To start camp. Right?
Yeah, they're starting camp here on the 23rd. And actually, the owners weren't there, but I got a chance to speak with Allie and with Dominic. They do a lot of player relations stuff.
Okay.
So our Denver Broncos alumni charities and how we give, which you so magnificently donated to when you played in our golf tournament.
Absolutely.
It's our #1 fundraiser of the year.
Well,
we wind up, by the way, I think we eclipsed just over 250,000 total.
Wow,
That's
incredible.
That's huge.
I mean, I was trying to donate on all the things that night. So
if there's listeners that want to participate, where do they go for that?
Oh, DenverBroncoAlumni.org.
There you go, everybody.
It was an incredible charity event.
It's kind of a weak site, except in June when we're going to have our tournament. It's usually the first Monday in June. Monday in June. But
I had a great time.
Oh, the golf tournament is off the chain.
I've never seen a golf tournament with a gala before.
I wasn't invited, so that's fine.
You went to the gala. That's all.
But then I was invited to the golf tournament the night of the gala.
But listen to her. She was invited. She could have rode around with you. She could have rode around with you, and she turned it up. She turned it down.
I know. I remember asking John. I was like, "Hey, John, so what? Like, do I need to golf, or do I need to show up to the gala? Like, where am I? What am I doing?" He's like, "Yeah, I guess you can come to the gala." And I was like, "So guess who I text? I text his wife because his wife has it all down. Michelle's got it like she is to a T. Yeah,
I'm not a good."
I'm
just a last minute. Here we go, man. We're doing.
You
this
and I
shit.
are both though, so that's what makes us a very messy like when together.
Absolutely.
But Michelle has it all together, and so I was like, Michelle, where do I go? What do I do? Do I have a +1? Am I showing up by myself? And so she gave me all the information. Yeah. And then I didn't know. Like I asked John, I was like, "Am I golfing too?" And he was like,
"He was brand new too."
He was like, "No, I think we're good."
Yeah. So
we're
I would have traded
you.
Like if it was an NFL draft, I think I would have traded. Who's a shorter guy? that is one of your, he was like on the phone
Mike
doing
Drill.
deals. Yeah, Mike. Is
Mike
he
Drill.
listening? Don't tell, I hope
He
he's not
probably
listening.
will. Oh my God. He's
gonna
going to
be
eat
mad at
that
me.
shit up.
He's
He's
gonna
going
be
to
like,
go a mile
what?
long.
You traded me.
You fucking traded me for Mike
You guys
Drill.
use 80% of my
Holy
shots.
shit.
It's not about the shots.
Sorry, Mike.
Close,
It's not about the
close your
shots.
ears, Mike.
It's not
You
about
can't
the
hear
shots.
that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Mike, sorry.
Fuck Mike. Anyway.
We love you, Mike.
I like to be like
we
Mike.
love Mike. So let's back to the reality.
What are we here for?
Okay, so
Yeah, so
let's backtrack. We still need to introduce yourself because now we know that you introduce yourself fakely on your voicemail.
Yeah, it's not Jose Manus.
Right. But
It's
give us a
Mark
little bit of give us a little intro, a little background about who you are.
Hell yeah.
I was born a poor Negro in the city of Chicago, Illinois,
Wow.
back in 1963.
Nice.
Long time ago, man. And I don't introduce myself that way.
And I
just did
came
that for
6
your
years
show.
later.
Did you?
I did.
Wow.
Yeah,
man.
so I'm old ass too.
Well, it's nice to come. I mean, whenever you can.
Yeah.
And whenever you
absolutely.
do, it's cool too.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I grew up much like any other kid in the city, inner city, dodging bullets, running for my life at recess. I took my daughter, actually was back in Chicago for an event. We call it Day in the Park, and took my daughter. We flew into Midway Airport instead of O'Hare because it was cheaper. And I drove past where I lived. I used to live off 44th and Cicero, which is maybe about a mile from Midway Airport. And I drove her to the neighborhood, and she's like, Dad, get us out of here as quickly as possible. Still today, they bulldoze down a lot of that area. So
Right.
there's no projects there anymore. But yeah, it was pretty cool. That's how I grew up. And I'm the youngest in a family of 5.
okay.
So
Which back then that might be considered a small family.
yeah,
Right?
not bad, right?
Yeah, it was definitely average.
Average, yeah. The unique thing about my family is my sisters. I got 2 sisters, older sisters. They're 16 months apart, and then from my sister to my brother is 19 months, and from my brother to my other brother is 19 months. I did the math, and then from my youngest brother, closest to me is 119 months. Pause.
From
Wait
the
for it.
youngest to the oldest.
No, from me to the next
Oh, okay.
kid.
Okay.
So, no, I wasn't a mistake, but I was born like 9.5 years later.
Okay.
Wow, so there's some spread there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means what?
I don't know. My dad comes from 14 brothers and sisters,
Oh, God.
Irish Catholic family. So
Nice.
there's definitely some spread there.
Good
I have an uncle that's younger than me
There you
by
go.
5 years.
So do I. I have an uncle who's younger than I am
I
too.
don't
so-
like talking with
Yeah.
you guys. I'm not
well,
unique
that's not
anymore.
a surprise to you since you thought I was.
That's so weird.
Uncle Brian, 5 years younger than me.
Wow. Yeah. So we have a lot of that in our family.
Yeah. So
How did you?
so you're in Chicago.
Formative years. Yeah.
Yeah. So what? How did you get into football? Like, did
Well,
you have a vision?
Were you the first?
Were you one of those people that, like, your senior year decided to go, oh, I'm gonna play football and
Did you play football in
knock
college?
it out of the park, or were you like focused a lot earlier than that?
All right. I'm going to write all those questions down. There's
Sorry.
like
Did
6
you
out of it.
play
All right, I'm
football in
starting.
college?
I did.
Were you
Yeah,
the first?
Dad,
Were you first?
Of course, he played football in
I'm
college.
sorry, not
I'm talking
college.
about.
I mean
high school.
Sorry, high
like,
school.
did you roll?
I know that you played football
I
at
was-
Purdue.
I
Are
was
you one of those
horrible.
people that rolled out and said, "Oh, I'm going to play football in senior year in high school," and
Hey,
then wind
some
up in the
people
NFL?
do.
They do. That's
yeah,
why.
some people do.
Yeah, that's why
And
I'm saying.
Were you the
Yeah.
first to go to college in your family?
I was not. My oldest sister went to George Williams College, which is no
Okay.
longer there. So I'm not sure if that was a junior college, if it was I think it was a 4-year college. Small college. So.
Do I want to say you went to
Purdue.
You do want to say that.
So Mike Dro really
Yeah, I
loves
like
you
it.
because he's
Yeah.
Purdue. Yeah.
Absolutely. We talked about
Oh
that
my
at the Christmas
God.
party. So I thought you were leading into that earlier when you said, this is a long time coming because this started at the Christmas party.
Full disclosure, it's actually started before the Christmas party with with Allison.
Uh-oh, my fault.
But no, it's.
I like the Christmas party better.
The Christmas
then it's
party
only
was
7
good.
months.
The Christmas party was good.
Before it makes me
But
look
the
like a
idea-
slacker, and you're making me feel bad
actually,
right now.
you didn't even know. It was just a vision that I had with Allison.
Okay,
and it was kind of like, wow, So I don't know how it came
high school
up,
to answer this.
I just love
questions 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, I started in high school. No, I did. No, I started in junior high school.
Okay.
In Alton, Illinois. Had a great coach, Terry Mitchell. I saw him run a pass route, and he was one of those guys who went to Illinois State, and he was one of those coaches that was a young coach at a junior high school, and he can do the damn thing. And he was a receiver, and he ran a route, and the grass flew up off of his cleats.
Oh my God.
And I was in love.
Yeah.
Can you see it? Like he broke on it out to show us how to run a 10-yard out, and the grass, and I was like, man, I tried for like the next 4 years to get grass to pop up off my cleats. Couldn't do it.
So back then there was so you weren't in Pee Wee, you were in middle school.
Middle school, yeah.
So there's
Junior
people
high.
that nowadays they're they start their kids out in Pee Wees and they're paying all kinds of money and
it's
it's a big deal. You know?
It is a big deal.
It was a big deal back then. But now it's just I don't know. It's a pretty competitive environment. It always has been.
Yeah.
That's what's fascinating to me when I see certain people that, have talent but never get there. And then it's just, so what is
you
that?
Ready?
Yeah.
Success clue number 1. Bling. Who's doing the audio? Where's the producer at? I can't see her.
Yeah, she's gone.
All right. Tell her to put a bell sound right there.
Oh, we will.
Oh, I'll do a bell sound.
Success.
Oh, wait. Oh, wow. I fucked
That's
it
not
up.
a success
Sorry.
secret.
Nope.
That's a cricket.
Oh, fuck.
No.
That's when I say fuck.
No.
Oh, shit.
Try the one at the bottom. What's the bottom blue?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, that might have been it. That works.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
so
let's do this.
Notorious.
Let's do this
The
instead.
blue one on the bottom.
Okay.
Oh, that works too.
Bullet
That works.
point number 1. Ready? Okay.
Do it for love.
Do it for love. Okay.
The love of the game.
Or the love of anything. Remember, we're talking broad here.
All things parking, right? So whatever
We're talking
you do,
parking, Danny, or we're
Parking
talking
is a
anything.
game.
Yeah, I love
or
it.
we're talking
Absolutely.
be the best waitress or waiter.
Right.
It's all
be
a
the
game.
best bartender. It doesn't matter what the fuck
I know.
you're doing.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's everything.
Yeah,
It's all
so-
a game.
love what you do.
Love what
Yeah.
you do. I like that.
It wasn't because I thought I was going to make millions. It wasn't because my mom or dad put me in a special football camp. As a matter of fact, I didn't go to any football camps. My
Oh my
mom raised
God,
5
I
of
went to a
us.
football
Wow.
camp.
Come
I
on,
didn't-
no.
I never went shit. I
you
didn't go to
kidding me?
college or anything.
Yeah.
Fucking-
I love
Never
it. And
made
I
the
know
NFL?
parents do it out of the kindness of their hearts. They think that that's something to support their kids. Some parents do it because it is an investment,
Right.
which, can't really blame them because of the amounts of money that guys make now. Remember, I made $60,000 my rookie year.
Wow. That was still a lot of money back then, though.
No, it wasn't.
To be, I know, not like now, but
I
to
love
be
it when
paid
people
a
say that
sport.
like it was
Yeah, but you're
1902. It wasn't 1902 when I made 60
know,
grand.
you're right,
There was a
but-
lot of money in 1902.
But
But
you're
in
playing us-
1986, 60 grand wasn't very much money. To put it in perspective, my brother worked with Hansel Phelps
Oh yeah.
downtown. They built a convention center. He made more money than I did that year
Wow.
working overtime.
Wow. But you're
So
still.
it wasn't a lot of money. But
Right.
I get
So
what you're saying.
when did things start to turn in the NFL where people, I guess it varies. Did they have league minimums back then?
It's kind of like the old school typecast system. Like if you grew up in the medieval days, if you were a pauper for life, right?
Right.
It's kind of like wherever you're drafted in the NFL, you tend to stay in that position. But there's a few that break through, and I did.
Okay.
So that was kind of a cool thing. I had to walk out of camp my second year, and they restructured my
you
my
walked
contract.
out of camp. Wow.
I did. I was
Why?
the first Dan Reeves walkoutie.
Oh my God.
And only, I don't think anyone else ever did it actually with Dan. So
now, did they have
that
league
was supposed to be
minimums back
the
then?
end. No, there was no league minimum.
So when did that happen?
That was after the strike and the new collective bargaining agreement.
Okay.
And
So
we did
you were
that
a
in
part of
87,
that.
So 88, 89, yeah. Yeah.
So you were kind of a pioneer then when you walked out on Dan Reeves. Wow.
I didn't walk out on Dan Reeves. He was the head coach at the time. I walked out because my agent said, hey, the only way you're going to get more money is to show that you deserve more money and you have strength and you're not,
Right.
feel like you have some value. And literally that's the difference between the NFL and working a quote unquote, most jobs.
Right.
Most jobs have a price that if you start working with Hewlett Packard, this is where we start you off, Right. In the NFL, you can get any kind of, what do you bargain for your money? You negotiate for your money. And then after you've shown some stats in the NFL, you can negotiate for more money, which is a, free enterprise system, which is awesome. I think everything should be like that. All things park. Are your employees listening?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody listening. Go in and ask John for more money. You're underpaid.
Oh, no. That's not what.
Oh, no. I'm
chasing
sorry.
money? Yeah, you know what? Chasing money
Dani
in
said
certain examples are good, but
this is probably the part that's got to
what Mark said. It's a public service announcement.
Well, the good thing about all things parking, Dani and John, is it's Dani and John.
That's right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, nobody works for us but us. And then we have a third party producing outfit. Yeah. So, okay. So we're love. We got our first bullet point down to success. I love it.
That was so big.
Fucking love it.
I can't think of anything else that kind of got me through. Here's the, if you want to dive deeper into that, if you love something, you'll do it every day, despite a swollen wrist or you turned an ankle or
a swollen ego
as hell that day,
or a swollen ego,
or you got benched, or you never got a chance to play. You just keep showing up.
I'm tying this to the business world. So your boss pissed you off today, or
you're underpaid.
A coworker was this, or you think you should be paid more, or you just keep coming in and loving what you do. I love it.
Well, and can you tie I thought about this recently.
No pun intended, but I do
thought
love
about
it.
this recently, but you can tie it's not every day that you love what you do, but it's around the people. It's the people who surround you.
I love what I do
with what you're doing on a daily basis that continue to make you love what you do. Right.
Well, that's part of it. Yeah, that's the external part of it. But I think success ultimately is an internal. It's an inside game. So those that allow the external things to impact them are those that are complainers, blamers, justifiers.
This is what I wanted out of this show.
Absolutely.
That is so perfect. So love. What else? Well, I mean,
hard work. So once you love it, that's the thoughts, lead
you
to
can't
feelings.
avoid the hard work.
Gotta put the work in, man. Gotta put the work in.
So what did that look like for you? So
for me, it looked like running stairs at the grad house, skipping some frat parties. I was the smallest guy on the team. Most people don't know, but I quit football my sophomore year at Purdue.
And, so I was actually going to ask you that. You took a year off.
I did. I did take a year off. I quit.
You took a year off?
You're a quitter.
Holy shit.
I quit. But they didn't know I missed practice. So this is crazy, man.
Practice? You talking about practice?
Right.
We're not talking about the game that I go out and love and die for. You're talking about practice?
I had a computer program due, and I was late on it, and the teacher gave us an opportunity to redo the program, and I'm infinite loop.
Nice.
Man,
doesn't sound like a keyboard, but that's all right.
Didn't that sound like a keyboard?
God, I gotta get a keyboard in here. So, I gotta teach Allison how to do this Roku board because boy, I fucked things up the last show. We'll talk about that.
Long and short is, boom, I slide the program under my TA's desk and I haul ass to practice. And by the time I'm getting there, as I'm running there, I may have experienced this. As I'm running there, I've got this little part in my mind that's saying, what the hell are you doing? Are you serious? You're a walk-on. You'll never make it on the field.
So you had self-doubt going on.
Like amazing, and my lungs were burning and I was mad. And I was like, I had a backpack on, remember? So it's like crazy, man. And it's like, by the time I get there, I go, to use the vernacular of this show, fuck it.
Yeah.
And I didn't go to practice. I didn't go in.
You had self-doubt going on saying, what the fuck am I doing this for?
What am I doing? Yeah.
I'm not doing school, so I'm running and I'm trying to make it to practice when really I think probably I'm not going to be a success anyways.
I'm like 8th on the depth chart just for the wide receiver spot.
Oh my God. This is so how did you battle through that?
Yeah. How'd you mentally get yourself?
I went to sleep.
Because trust me, everyone battles this. Well, I don't care what you're doing.
Absolutely.
We're back to
self-doubt.
That's what this episode is. That's why I love this shit.
Self-doubt is a mother, man. And a good night's sleep. And because I love the game, like the next day I was like, come on, man. What are you going to do without football? You love football.
Right.
I love smelling the grass. I love being around the guys. I love getting hit. I love making guys miss. I love winning. I love the pain.
Right.
It was addictive, man. And I just
still wanted to see your cleats kick up that grass.
There you go. I was like, oh.
So
I went back the next day.
So you went back the next day, but you wound up taking a year off.
But nobody knew I was gone, and that's when the reality set in.
Oh my God.
Like my coach came up to me and said, "Hey, I heard you're doing a great job on scout team. Keep up the good work." And when he said that,
you were on the scout team.
Oh yeah, no
Purdue.
doubt.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I was the blocking.
Where was Rudy?
Where
was Rudy?
I was the Black Rudy of Purdue. Yeah, definitely. I tell people that all the time.
Did you play? You didn't play against Rudy.
No.
That was the 70s.
No, I met him though when I lived in Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah, he lives in Vegas.
Okay, that's
we did an engagement together.
I cry every time I see that.
Of course,
story.
you're Irish. You have to.
Yeah, of course.
If you don't, you're not Irish.
That was tenacity. Like
That
if you
was-
look up tenacity in the dictionary, his picture should be there.
Yeah, I should be right
that's
next
what
to
it
him.
takes.
I'm right next to him. So tenacity. I like that. Throw that in there. So love.
So we have another
battling
bullet
self-doubt. Tenacity.
battling self-doubt. Okay, that's bullet point number 2. So we got love, Dani. We got balancing self-doubt, and we got tenacity. Okay.
Right. So then you need God. We got to put God in there.
Okay, we'll put God in there.
Belief.
So
We
belief
don't
and
care.
faith.
We don't care what God. Everybody, there's a lot of different gods.
Yes.
I mean,
You gotta
Some
make that
people are
disclaimer.
God in their own mind.
Don't make
but
that disclaimer.
Fuck those people. But
Here's
yeah,
the
you
thing.
gotta have
I
faith.
mean, like, you gotta have belief. You gotta have faith.
So
There's a
here's
lot
what
of things
happened.
behind
You
it.
ready for the God story?
Yeah.
Okay, let's hear it.
So my justification, because I'm like Allison, I justify everything, and I have to cerebrally think
For
about
those
this.
of you who don't know Allison,
It's
she's
just the
like
other person.
IT guru. I mean, she does everything at PRS. So I don't.
Allison is the
amazing.
heart of PRS.
Data. I mean, you
Stop. This isn't an Allison show. It's the Mark Jackson show.
I know this is Mark Jackson.
Stop. I should never use her
Allison
name.
is in the room, by the way.
Earlier, I
Just
just said
FYI.
a friend.
You
Now
brought
I
her
said-
up.
I know. Damn. Well, she's sitting right there. So
I know. Yeah.
she's not on camera, though. So here's the deal. I start thinking about it, and I was like, the coach thinks that I'm a little, he used to call me little shit. That was his name for me. He never called me Mark. He called me little shit. So he had a perception of me, which was pretty accurate.
I mean, you're little.
Yeah,
But you had to be fast.
And I was a shitty player. I was slow. I was horrible. I was a walk-on for a reason.
I mean, you were
Nobody
slow.
gave me a
Slow,
scholarship.
you're
I was
little,
slow, black,
and you're slow,
walk-on.
little, and you wind up catching a pass from Elway that freaking
Well,
crushed
things can change.
Cleveland.
If you
We'll
work
get
hard
there.
enough.
I know,
One
we're
second.
gonna get there.
We got to get there. We got to get there. So
got a
I
lot to cover
justified all
before
this.
that.
Well, but God, here's the deal. The whole coaching staff left at the end of that year.
Wow.
And I got a phone call. This is before cell phones. I get a phone call saying, "Hey, Mark, we need some bodies." And it was Coach Bob Spoo. Robert Spoo was the only guy that stayed. He was our quarterbacks coach. And I said, "Coach, I can't come out. I'm majoring in computer science. My grades were really slipping, doing practice. And then I had to run to try to get something to eat afterwards.
And
I'm
you
tired.
had some fraternity shit
And
mixed
I
in
flashed
there.
a fraternity,
I'm sure.
yeah.
There was some Friday night action.
It was
no,
not that. It wasn't
All
that.
right.
It was just like pledging, and it was just there was a lot going on my sophomore year, man. And I said I can't do it. Then I said, I could do it if I can get a scholarship. And he goes, "Mark, we can't just give you a scholarship. We don't have it right now, but if you got faster, ran better routes, caught the ball better, and you got stronger, maybe we can get you a scholarship." No, he said, no, he didn't. The fourth one was get taller. Because I remember 3 out of 4 I could probably do.
Right.
And that's when I went back out.
Which means if taller was on the list, that the other 3 items that might have been on that list, you got to be fucking
Faster,
working to get
stronger.
That's
So
right.
Absolutely.
So what'd you
that's
do?
fucking
Better
work.
routes, catch the ball.
He probably went and worked.
I went Rocky on their ass. I just started doing stairs. I had this vest. My mom bought me this vest from the Salvation Army. This is, man, I should have brought it in here.
Was it a bulletproof
I still
vest?
have it.
It was probably a weighted vest.
It was a Mexican vest.
Probably
It was like a Toreador, Mexican vest
wow.
Was it
with red velvet.
Oh my God.
Do you know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
so it wasn't even weighted. Like it wasn't.
No, it's a red velvet vest.
Holy shit.
But
I
it
want to
was
see
thick
that.
as shit. It was thick.
It was
so
thick.
I sliced it and I put pennies in it.
Oh my God.
To make it weighted,
You put
right?
pennies to make it
Created
weighted.
my own weighted vest.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I was the originator of that. I wish I had marketed it.
You
and-
should. Yes, you should have.
And we'd be
Oh my
not
God.
here right
See,
now.
these are the things.
We'd have a
like-
totally different podcast right now.
Yeah,
We-
you know what?
you
These
wouldn't
are
even
the-
be here.
You guys would
these
be on
are
my
the things that
podcast
people
right now.
need- Yeah,
Exactly.
these are the people that need to hear stuff like that. It's like
Yeah.
you put pennies in a vest
I
to
put
weigh
pennies
it
in
down.
the vest. Yep.
Wow.
I
Okay.
didn't put quarters because I didn't really have that much money. But
Right.
pennies, a lot of pennies weigh a lot.
So you worked
could just-
your ass off.
So I ran the
You got
ground stairs.
faster,
It's 20.
obviously.
I think it was 23 floors. I would do one step at a time, go up. One step at a time, go up. Then
Right.
I'd do every other step, go up. Then I'd do every 3 steps, go up. And then I would go as many steps as I could. So I developed like this incredible explosion. My speed went from like a 4.8, 4.76 to a 4.4, 4.35 when I ran for the
Holy
Broncos.
shit.
And it was
God.
just a lot of film study work. I didn't know how slow I was until I saw myself on film.
So
So when did you?
And I was like, whoa.
So you're still at Purdue.
Yeah.
You increase your speed. You increase.
I'm the
You're
strongest guy
working
in
your
the
ass
team.
off with a
Pound
velvet
for
vest.
pound. I'm working it out.
Fuck, no wonder where the 3 Amigos came from. You had a velvet
that was
vest.
before. That was before the 3 Amigos. Oh my God.
Did
There's
that,
another.
did that have something to
I
do
know,
with
there's
it?
another
Did you tell
premonition.
those guys that you had a velvet vest?
just pennies
Was it
in it.
red velvet?
No.
So I do want to ask
Shit.
though, like, where did the mental strength come from when you were every day just working towards a goal that you didn't even know that you needed to hit? Like,
Great question.
Love. That's the bullet point.
You
That's
crushed
where
it,
it came
John.
from.
well,
I'm going back to the bullet point,
I didn't have
right?
to answer it.
Yeah, love.
well, because
Oh
I
God,
think
you
it's
did it.
I think it's important.
I see you.
I think it's
Yeah.
important because
It's so true.
yeah, like I think like whatever industry you're in, whether, like obviously sports, like that is a completely different because it takes not only physical strength, it takes a lot of mental strength. Like you have to pass your mental blocks in
Yeah.
order to be physically where you want to be the best in the game, right? And so like how did you get past those mental blocks?
Well, repetition is the mother of skill.
Yeah.
If you've ever heard that before.
Mhm.
So the more you do something, practice doesn't make perfect, but perfect practice makes perfect.
Agreed.
And it was my sophomore year that this company called Edge Seminars came into Purdue. And it was preseason, so before the school year started. So most guys slept through the presentations, but I was locked in because they taught us something called visualization.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And he's like, if you don't get the reps on the field, you need to visualize yourself getting the reps. And guess what? You don't have to be a starter. If you visualize, you can do 100 reps. You can do 1,000 reps. And guess what I did? I would do reps right before I'm going to bed. Anytime during the day, I was like swimming people as I'm going to class. And it just, mentally, it was just something, when you focus on something that you really want, then everything else kind of blurs out and you can go for it. And there's really no pain. You don't feel like I'm sacrificing if I'm not at that frat party. As a matter of fact, to this day, unfortunately, it kind of wore off. It made me a recluse almost.
Right.
To where I don't even necessarily
So some people
enjoy that too much.
So
you know?
they're successful people sometimes have like addictive type personalities.
Obsession is a word that I've heard. I hate to use that word, but
I hated to bring it up, but
it's so true.
the people that I know that are super successful,
yeah.
they've had like moments, and they've had moments of focus where they're focused on bad shit and then they focus on good shit. So my cousin is an example, a wonderful dude, but
I got to walk out of here.
yeah. So he started running marathons and this became his focus. The next thing you know, it wasn't about marathons. He's running like 150 miles
Ultra.
through mountains, through ultra.
Right.
Like now he's having his hips and everything replaced, but like he was, who runs 150 miles? So I would talk to him and I would talk to him and go, how did you do this? And he's just like, I started. And then it was like, his problem became in training for this shit, he would literally have to say goodbye to his wife at like 6 in the morning and come back at like 9 o'clock at night because he's running 50 miles or 80 miles.
Sacrifice.
Yeah. So
there's some
sacrifice.
John, if I look at any successful person, I know you've sacrificed in your life. And your wife has been there through it. Your family's been there through it. And there's some times where, you may say, man, I wish I had or I wish I could have. And it's just life. You get one shot at it. And if you half-ass it, then it was a waste. If you are successful at what you're doing, then it's beneficial and generations will be able to benefit from it.
See if you agree with me. I call it the 2-rail theory. So you've got a professional rail and you've got a personal rail. And like, I think I might have said this before, but if you screw up on both of those rails, you're fucked, right? But if somewhere along the line in my career, I had a personal rail just derail completely, completely implode. Yeah. But and I focused on the work rail and the professional rail, and I actually excelled during that period. And I kept telling myself, no, we're not going to let this rail, like this is what you're going to do. Right. You're going to focus on this rail because that's all you got, right?
Well, and I think that's like you and I have that in common, where we like professionally we honed in, we focused on that.
There's got to be balance, though.
Yeah.
So there's five triggers that we talk about. When I say we, I've built different organizations, and I like to help coach people with different things that they're dealing with in their lives. And you push 2 rails, right, which is relationships and your work life, right, or finances in this case. But you also have the physical. Your health is a rail,
right. Actually, that's a great point.
Yeah, some people can get fanatical about their success in business and totally screw up their health, and they're dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what?
They're rich and
that's
dead.
Actually
Does
enlightening.
you no good.
That actually just turned a light bulb on for me. I do. Yeah. I think it could be part of the personal rail. But I honestly, maybe health should be a 3rd rail that I never even thought about.
Yeah.
Wow.
So relationships is, I would classify as personal.
Yeah.
Then you got health. Then you got emotional.
Mm-hmm.
So there's people that have been on that, finance or success rail there, and they're mentally shot.
Right.
They don't have any capacity, any drive except for that, right? So it's a singular focus. So
we're
balance.
So we're at Purdue. We're through, I think, 3 bullet points.
Yeah.
So we're at Purdue. Now you've worked your ass off.
Yeah. Now
you came around.
The harvest.
You did the stuff. So when did things start to turn around at Purdue for you?
Senior year. They gave me a chance to get on the field.
Did you get a scholarship finally?
I got a scholarship my senior year.
Wow. Good.
That's crazy.
That's a big fucking deal.
It was, man. I cried actually.
Oh, that's
like a baby.
So you had the velvet vest.
I got some Andre champagne.
You had you had the velvet vest working towards a scholarship, and you got it.
And I got it.
How did that feel?
It's amazing.
It's just amazing. The coach called me in, and I didn't know what he was calling me for. I didn't expect it at all. I pretty much I was like, I didn't really care, to be honest with you. Somehow, again, God. Somehow I was able to pay all my bills. And there was a couple of times I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to stay in school. And I worked at the language lab, and I worked at Kmart.
Right.
I had a red vest on there too, but it was the Kmart vest.
It was you worked at Kmart?
Beer maid, more beer, please.
Did you work at Kmart? I hate to do that to her because that's not who she is. But did Kmart? You worked at Kmart? Oh my God, I worked at Kmart.
Man.
You both worked at Kmart?
I worked at Kmart. We're about 39 minutes in. So
all right.
I worked at Kmart.
We got some time.
I did, and I'll tell you that.
Awesome.
Talk about success and trying to work your ass off. I couldn't afford to live in my job. So I went out Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night and did 11 to 7 in the morning shifts at Kmart.
Oh, wow, stocking
to
and shit
pay the bills.
Yeah.
And I was a parking manager with
a
newborn, and it was like my wife was going back to school at the time. and we couldn't afford shit. I couldn't afford
do what
nothing.
you got to do, right?
So I worked at Kmart as a cashier, and the things I saw at 11 to 7 in the morning. I mean, people paying in food stamps, driving BMWs, and I'm sitting here with a second fucking lousy job going, you motherfucker.
John,
how did you get that? Your car's better than my car.
I work in that Kmart, and they put me back in like the electronics and in the hardware section.
Oh, you were a step up from where
I was. You were in your element there,
there's
right?
not a lot of traffic going on, right? You just basically telling people where to go, giving them some bad advice. Because I know nothing about it,
bad
right?
advice.
Don't you hate when people give you bad advice? Oh, yeah, that's the best right there.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I really counted
one
on
day
this.
it was packed, right? And it's like, Jackson, we need you on the front register. I'd never been in the front before.
What did they call you, Jax?
Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Front register.
What's your nickname?
MJ, Jax.
MJ. Okay.
Dookie. I got a million nicknames.
Okay.
Jack.
I do too.
They put me on that front register, man, and I melted. I was void, please.
It was pretty complicated shit. You screw one fucking thing up.
It wasn't like
the thing was like
now it's easy. You
it
just
was like
scan
it probably
stuff.
weighed 1,000 pounds. It was like
you had to push in all the numbers.
Yeah, it was.
And you do the wrong numbers, and
it wasn't today. That. Like they scan shit.
I panicked. I panicked so bad. Yeah. But isn't that life, right? So it was like one of those deals. It was my first time. It was like. But that was my Kmart experience. But you do what you do. You do what you got to do.
You got to do. That goes back to the red velvet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Vest filled with
but
pennies.
Did you like?
I'm not going to forget.
Did you
that.
like when you were up front at that time? Was that your own, like your first and only time?
They took me off. There's like, get his ass out of there.
So they were like.
I got through like 3 customers, maybe.
Okay, so we're senior year. We're senior year at Purdue.
They gave me a scholarship, and I got on the field. And
God, like the first time you ran out with the scholarship, like you
I was
had
on the
to
field.
have
Rudy.
You kicked up.
Rudy.
You kicked up grass.
No.
Not like the sprint, but you had to be feeling pretty.
No, it's
you
not
had to
that
be
story.
feeling pretty good.
You've seen too many movies. That's a movie story.
I know. But you talked about kicking up grass,
This
man.
is real life.
Like real life, but you're a scholarship at
real
this
life,
point.
the only reason they put me on the field was I was a good blocker.
Okay.
Which is not a great attribute for a wide receiver.
That's
to be known as
true,
a good
especially
blocker.
somebody your size.
I know, but as small as I was, they knew I get into guys and I drive them because I was smaller than them. They come at me and I can get under their pads so easy, and I would hold them under their pads.
Right.
And they were mine because I'm pretty strong. I was like I said, by the time I left Purdue, my name was at the top of the board for every lift. So we had squats, we had clean and press, we had bench press, and then we had military press.
Right.
I wonder if that board's still there, but I was at the top. I was squatting like 540, bro.
Holy shit. Oh my God.
I don't know how my back still works, but anyway, I would go in the block. So here's what happened. This is a great story. So what they would do is they would run in the plays with the wide receiver.
Right.
So it's 3rd down and short. And I'm expecting them to run into play, but Jim Everett had gotten tackled close to the sideline. So the coach,
Jim Everett,
gave him the play call. So Jim comes running back to the huddle. I'm waiting for someone to come get me. No one comes get me. I was like, it must be a running play. 3rd and short. They call 80. So pro right, 80. So pro right means that the tight end and the receiver are going to the right side.
Yeah, I remember we had
strength.
we had pro shit. Yep.
And 80 is the route that you're running. 8 is the strength. That means it's coming to the strength side. If it was a 60, it'd be going to the weak side.
Interesting. So pro
but
60.
Still 0 was the route.
Right.
What's a 0 route? It's just a 5-yard hitch. Remember, it's 3rd and 2.
Right.
So I'm going to run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, turn around, and he's supposed to throw me the ball. So he calls that play, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, baby.
That's to me. He called it to me.
Yeah.
Oh, this is it. This is where I'm about to shine, baby. I was confident. I'm ready. Break. I ran from the huddle, get to the line of scrimmage, and he starts to scream out the cadence. Blue 16. Bloop. And you can't hear anything when you're on the field. Anybody that's an athlete, they'll tell you.
So the crowd noise.
You don't hear the crowd noise. I've had fans. I had family. I had my mom screaming my name. Hey, Mark. And I don't. She's like, why don't you turn on? I called your name and you didn't turn. I'm focused, right?
Yeah.
You can't hear that.
Yeah.
But you can hear your name if your coach says your name.
Oh my God. Okay.
Blue 16. Blue. What the hell is Jackson doing on the field?
Oh no!
I swear to God,
God,
that's what happened.
Holy shit.
So I go from this confident position to like Ichabod Crain. My legs are shaking.
Knees are shaking. Yeah.
I'm now starting to think of everything negative that can go wrong.
Oh.
Isn't that what most people do, though?
They would. That
They're
would
like, what if I
I would go to a 0 to 60.
If I drop the ball.
Right. You're thinking of everything that could go wrong in this moment.
So
yeah, I would go to a fire mode, you know, pissed off mode.
So it happens like that. But it seems like it's, you know, an eternity in time,
Right.
how fast your brain can process things. But because repetition is the mother of skill, when he said set hut, I forgot about everything else. I forgot that the coach forgot to take me out of the game.
Right.
I ran my
So you
5
had
yards,
focus.
turned around. He delivered the ball. I caught the ball. I turned upfield. I knocked it. I don't know. Some guy just, I felt like I had vibranium pads on. I was like, you come down forever. And I was like, Black Panther, man. I was running down. I ran for 40 yards. I swear, you can go back and look at the annals of I got to find a clip. I can't think if it was Michigan. I want to say it was Michigan State.
All right, we're gonna find this clip and we're gonna resurface it.
But my first catch, my first
Spartans.
Michigan State Spartan, my first
So anybody
catch.
out there, get the clip.
Yeah, go grab it.
We're gonna find
Michigan
this.
State back in
Boom.
the
It was a little
80s.
hitch that turned it.
Allison's on it.
The rest is they say.
That's
now
awesome.
she is the Geek Squad.
Oh, she'll find it. The
Geek
old
Squad.
Geek Squad over there. She defines the Geek Squad.
Oh my
She's the
God.
head of the
That's
Geek
an
Squad.
incredible.
So yeah, that's
Allison,
what
you never
happened.
thought you were going to be a
And the rest,
highlighted
yeah,
in this.
she's the fact checker.
Look at her all
Wait a
getting
second,
red.
you only went 38 yards. It wasn't 40.
Oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I mean, literally.
So that was a pivotal moment.
The
right?
rest, as they say, is history.
Coach probably said,
No,
"Holy
he's like,
shit,
oh, he trusts him."
Jackson needs to be in there."
Yeah,
Right?
He probably should.
Wow.
We probably should play this guy.
So
a little
you
bit
had
more.
a. So
I played a little bit more. Then I had a fifth year.
Oh,
Oh,
remember,
at Purdue.
I
Oh,
quit
you
my
took the 1 year
sophomore-
off.
Ah,
Yeah.
Bam. So I had a fifth year, and I came back my fifth year and crushed it. We killed Notre Dame that year. We beat
yeah,
of course, at Purdue. I ran
at Purdue or
flicker.
South Bend.
It was at Purdue. Oh no,
okay.
couldn't beat them there.
Freaking Rudy.
Yeah,
Rudy.
If you're a Bronco fan, David Bruton's Notre Dame grad, and he's a Bronco, former Bronco. But we have the same birthday. His birthday is July 23rd as well.
Oh, 23rd.
Don't
Happy
worry,
birthday to you.
At the end, we're gonna sing you happy birthday.
Yeah,
here,
there's
so.
a lot of birthday shit going on.
Yeah, by the time this airs,
Mine's on Thursday.
on the 28th.
Yeah.
Is your birthday Thursday?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, we got lots. Oh, that's
See?
right. I have it actually. I
It's
have your
July
birthday in
babies.
my calendar, John. So
Yeah, we're sensitive people.
No, you don't.
I do
you?
actually. No, I do. I think I can. I'll
She's
prove
gonna
that.
prove it.
God,
me.
what the fuck?
I do.
Okay,
So there you have it. That's
so
Purdue.
senior year, Purdue. Now all of a sudden, when does it become the moment where you know you're going to be drafted in the NFL?
Don't. It's yeah. So
That's-
Purdue's the bottom, like the middle to the bottom of the Big Ten. We did have one good year. Look at that.
Ah, Danny's got me in her calendar.
John Conway's birthday.
That says Juan.
That's
Does it say Juan
actually
or John?
that's in my
That's
word.
Juan
Ryan.
Velez.
That's hey.
Juan Velez. We give you the best coffee ever.
Also, I want to let you know that this is my work calendar, not even my personal calendar. So that means something.
Oh,
Wow.
That means you
Okay,
working.
I'd rather be in the personal calendar.
Yeah, I know.
I don't even have a personal. John,
I
I
don't
don't,
know what
have
that
a personal
means.
I'd rather
calendar.
be in
It
the
means
I'd rather
something,
be in the
but
personal
I'm not
calendar.
sure what that
but
means.
okay.
So between my
Yeah.
personal life and my professional life, I don't have a personal life. So this is
Okay.
what I go off of.
Okay, business.
Okay.
I get it. Eddie.
Just to let you know.
Danny's
I can all right, I gotta
Danny's
tell you my draft
tracking the
story.
two rail. So
I got another
let's-
story.
Yeah, so
You ready
we
for it?
got to
Here's
hear
another
about.
story.
So now
People
we're
like stories, so here's a good story.
Yeah, well, we like success stories. So now you're getting
The
into
season's
the NFL
over. It's
stuff.
the NFL draft. It's April, whatever, 22nd or whatever day that was, the 28th, the draft in 1986.
86.
1986.
Yeah, Danny wasn't even born
God,
yet.
I was.
Hey, I was actually.
Dude,
I was about to be created. Okay, I was born in 87. So
Oh, she's about to be
87.
creative.
So my sister was graduating in 87. So 86, I was in 9th grade.
There you go.
Hey,
Ooh,
this
that was
is
a good
oh my
year for me.
God, ninth
like
grade,
ninth grade.
baby. Or I might have been even in
this
8th.
is this is where I represent the younger generation.
All
Okay?
right, I get it. I know, and I represent the old
Me
generation.
too. Although, what you're still Gen X. We're Gen X together.
No.
Yeah, because 1961 was the cutoff.
1946 to 1964 is baby boomers.
Oh, so you're
I'll
a boomer.
bet you on it. Here, give me a pinky bet. So yeah, I made the baby boomer.
You're a boomer.
population.
Wow, you guys fucked everything
Oh
up.
God.
Okay.
No, if it wasn't, I mean, we made everything right.
Yeah.
Gerber Foods, you kidding me? Come on.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We're not going to go off the rails here.
I'm in
Not
Bloomington. We never go off the rails on this show.
Not at all.
I'm in Bloomington at a hotel, and my agent brought 5 of us there.
So you have an agent already.
I have an agent. It's my senior
So
year.
what made you get an agent? Because you were playing playing your ass off.
I played pretty good. I had 46 catches for like 600-700 yards my senior year at Purdue.
Okay.
So, I pretty much had set myself, I'm going to be a free agent. And I was
Right.
cool with that. Free agency is actually almost better than being drafted in the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th round because you get to choose what team you want to go to as a free agent.
Okay.
And I'll go to the team with the weakest receiving core, right?
Right.
But if you get drafted in the 6th round by a team that has a strong receiving core, you're screwed.
Right.
You're just there for a couple practice reps and get the hell out. So I pretty much decided I'm going to be a free agent. Anyway, my agent had 3 first-rounders. They were all defensive guys, defensive backs. And they went to the big house, George Talaferro's house. So they were there, and my agent made a big mistake. He told my good friend of mine, one of my frat brothers, he played in the NFL as well. He graduated the year before. He told him to call me and tell me that the Broncos drafted me. So he's a practical joker, and I didn't believe him. He said, hey, put on your boots. You're going to Green Bay. And he goes, no, seriously, the Broncos picked you up. And he write down this number and call this lady, Jenny Ann Carey, the Denver Broncos. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And I hung up. I'm not falling for that.
Yeah. You're like,
I got a degree from Purdue. I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe, Come on. So about 4 hours later, they come to the hotel. And my agent goes, so what'd the Broncos say?
you were like, what you talking about, Willis?
Facts of life.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was like, what? And he goes, yeah, the Broncos drafted you. I didn't call. You didn't call. So we call. G-O-D. You ready for another God moment?
I'm here for it.
This is crazy.
Oh my God.
So
I
remember,
can't
it's
wait.
like 8 o'clock at night in Denver, right?
Oh my gosh.
8:30.
Who answers the phone?
Nobody. So it's just ringing. Everybody's gone from the Bronco
They're like,
complex.
fuck Mark Jackson.
Bling, bling, bling. After a while, I'm like, hey, don't they have a damn answering machine at this place?
Yeah.
Do I really want to go play
One
there?
of those old ass.
It's just bling,
Leave a sound at the beep.
No.
Leave your message at the beep.
There was no voicemail.
No? Oh my
Bling,
gosh.
bling. So
Of course
I
not.
swear it rang like 6 times. Then
That's it?
Denver Broncos, Jenny and Carey, can I help you?
Oh my God.
Jenny and hey, it's Mark Jackson.
The
I
Purdue
was your
guy?
driver. Yeah. I needed to get in touch with you. We have a ticket for you. Remember back then, it wasn't online. Get your ticket. They had to FedEx you your ticket.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I remember that.
Travel
FedEx,
agent. You gotta
really?
know.
Do you remember getting your tickets overnighted to you?
No.
Or no?
She
I'm
wasn't.
sorry.
Your
I
plane ticket with the
still
stupid
get,
ass
I
shit?
still get
She's
tickets
clueless.
FedEx to me where I'm
Yeah.
like, why
No.
can't this be electronic? So that's still a real thing.
All right.
All right.
Wow, see?
Not everybody is
You
with the
couldn't go to the
times.
living up to our-
airport.
we're living
they
up
could
to
just
our
pay for
show.
it. Yeah,
The
exactly.
younger generation.
The old guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was God.
Do you know what the facts
Here's
of
what
life are?
happened.
Did
The
you
fact-
watch that
yeah.
show?
The
what?
facts of life.
Did
Oh,
you
yeah.
watch the facts
Yeah,
of
yeah,
life? Okay.
Once upon a time.
Okay. You passed that. All
I
right.
do not believe in that.
All right now.
Well,
Give
Who
me
was
some
in it?
we can,
name, if,
Who
you
are
can
the
name,
actors?
if you can name 3 characters, in
We're
the
not-
facts of-
we're not doing
See,
that right now.
I told you. I called her bluff.
Was Willis on the show?
called
we're
her bluff.
going.
Who was Willis?
We're
How
going.
about Todd?
We're
Was there
talking
Todd?
about.
Who was Willis?
Was there Caroline?
Carol. See, I love it.
Anyway, so Caroline's on the
Millennials, they're
call.
so easy to figure
and
out.
she's happy. Mark Jackson.
So Jenny and Carey, she calls.
Jenny and
She
Carey,
sends me
sorry.
the deal. I come out and here's what she told me when I got here. I was like, Jeannie Ann, what were you doing at the office at LA? You must be hard work. She goes, no, everybody left at like 5:36. She said, but I left something at the office. So she came back at precisely the time that I was calling.
So you kept calling and
Nope.
No, one call.
One call, bro.
you only made one call.
I made one call.
Okay, wow.
That's God.
And
If I just
that
kept
is
calling,
God.
trying to blow up their phone, that'd be different.
That's
it
God.
wasn't that deal.
Wow.
It wasn't that deal.
That's a bullet point on
it
there.
wasn't that.
Yeah.
Give me some love then. All right.
That's a bullet point. There we go.
No, but that is.
Look at that. Look at John's face. Holy shit. Anyway, so we got another bullet point, which we had, but
yeah, I mean,
so she takes your call.
That's sprinkled in. That's
she gets
like
your
the ultimate
address.
bullet point.
She's overnighting tickets.
So I get here.
So you're
I get
going
here to Denver.
which
There's
was
snow in the mountains.
Stapleton?
Still in June.
You landed
in
at
April,
Stapleton.
Landed
And
at
you're going to
Stapleton.
Oh, you landed
And
at
Dove
Stapleton
Valley
Air.
wasn't Dove Valley. You were down
No,
on like
58th
38th.
and Logan.
Yeah, 58th downtown.
58th and Logan.
Yeah, I remember that place.
Jim Gillen came and picked me up, and I swear I thought the mountains. I was like, why is it so cloudy over there? I didn't realize
the
it
brown
was
cloud
snow.
shit. Yeah.
No, it was like snow on the mountaintops. I thought it was clouds.
What time of year was this? Right after
This
you graduated,
was April.
right?
Yeah, April-ish. Yeah. Actually, the draft was then. Yeah, it was like the next day. Yeah.
So you came out
2 days later.
and who was the quarterback at the time?
A guy named Juan Elway. He's going into his third year with
Oh
the
my
Denver
God.
Broncos.
Juan Elway.
And
Yeah,
I
so
like
you're-
that.
Steve Watson was the stud receiver.
Yeah, talked to him at the golf tournament.
Yeah. And Vance Johnson was the new kid on the block the year before. And
He's
then,
one of the amigos, right?
He's one of the amigos. And then Clint Sampson.
So were you
We had 14 receivers.
so you're going in, were you an Elway fan at that time?
Did not know who John Elway was.
So you didn't
we
care.
played against Stanford my senior year, actually.
Okay.
Oh.
And at Purdue. But
You had no idea.
what you'll
who he
find out
was.
about, well, not just about me, but I think a lot of guys, a lot about me, is I didn't care about their offense. I studied their defense. So I knew more of the defensive players.
Right.
I didn't know who John Elway was. I kind of heard of him.
Right. Yep.
Didn't know, the pedigree that he had. And that was in 1980.
Well, I don't think he had. Yeah. And when you're coming in and he's
80
only 3 years in,
That was
I
my
don't think he had
sophomore
much of
year
a- yeah.
that we played against
Yeah.
him. So
I mean, I
I
think
was,
he-
I was just happy to be there.
Yeah. I mean, I think he was good, but he wasn't great as 3 years in, right? I mean,
Yeah. Once he came to Denver, I mean, he was kind of the savior.
Right.
And there was the expectations, but unfulfilled really until 86. And that's when we went to a little place called Cleveland.
That's
Yeah,
right.
let's talk about
Yeah,
that.
baby. Freaking Cleveland. I just, before we get into that,
Oh.
obviously the famous drive,
Stop
but
the
how,
dog barks. Do you have dog barks on there?
so the way he was,
You should have queued up some dog barks.
Ooh,
That was a cricket. What the hell?
I don't know, man.
Where's the dog?
sorry.
Where's the...
John, John's
Allison, help
actually.
him. He should... We need some...
Yeah, baby. All right.
John's
So-
actually famous for playing the wrong.
I am. I
thing
gotta
at the
get to
wrong
know this
moment,
keyboard.
so-
Fuck, this keyboard's so complicated.
But
I really need to rethink this. I
No,
think
we
you
just
need
need-
to be sitting over here.
I do need to be sitting over
I
there.
think
So
you do. You'd have it all labeled and everything.
I think. Why are you yawning?
I'm yawning.
Ah.
I'm crying.
I
Oh,
know.
God.
He's
I was like,
laughing
this
at
is
me.
not good. Not
He's
good.
laughing, hopefully
It's
with
not
me.
what I expected it to be.
So
So,
Cleveland.
anyway, so we're Cleveland, and I just want to know the bullet that LA was throwing bullets.
Oh,
drive.
yeah. That's
Did
all
that-
he threw.
So, I mean,
So was that the-
Zero.
was that-
pass that he
Zero
threw?
touch. He's not trying to touch pass. Nothing.
God, how do you
There's
catch
on the
something that
line.
fast?
It's coming. Either you catch it or you die.
Did
Yeah.
you know that it was
You
coming?
can die or you can catch. No, actually, I didn't. So that drive was pretty unique in that I was a rookie. That was my rookie year. So
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, first year in the league,
Holy
and so I
shit.
wasn't starting. Steve and Vance were starting, and we started off with just a regular offense. I think it was like 2:40 on the clock or something like that. We had a little time, 3:14. We had plenty of time, but the fact is, we didn't have any offense up until that point. It was pretty much a defensive struggle. Cleveland had a good defense. They
Right.
had All-Pro Frank Benefield, I was going to call him Louis Wright. Felix Wright, Hanford Dixon. They had a lot of great defensive players. And there was a 3rd and 18. There was a part in that drive where Elway got sacked, and it was 3rd and 18. And I look at that now.
I've watched that drive over and over in preparation of this, and it's unbelievable. I mean, he had to wipe his hands off at one point.
Yeah, exactly.
On the back of a receiver or somebody, just because.
Clint Sampson's towel. That's absolutely correct. You win.
Yeah.
And he fires a strike to me, a bullet on a 3rd and 18 on a crossing route. So I caught that ball, and up until then, I didn't have any catches. You
caught two passes on that drive. One was obviously the critical touchdown that won the game, and then you guys went to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 50?
No, Super Bowl 50 was Peyton Manning.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. Jesus.
Subtract about 20 years from that.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we're just doing math here.
26
I'm
years.
doing math. Maybe that was how many beers I had.
That was Super Bowl 23, I think.
Maybe 50 was the amount of beers I had
23. Wow. We're subtracting here.
She's just about to be born. When's your birthday?
September.
Oh my God.
6 months later.
Of 87.
8 months later.
But
this wasn't 87.
I was graduating.
Because remember the Super Bowl was the next year.
So then I was here.
No,
I was in this world.
It was in January of 87.
So who are you guys playing?
I was in this world of 87. No. No, you're right. Yeah, September.
Who are you guys playing?
I loved it.
Was it the Giants or San Francisco?
Hey, you got to remember that I only know girl math. So.
Oh, got you.
Who are you guys playing? Was it the Giants or
the New York Giants?
Yeah, baby.
Oh, it sucked because we played them earlier that year, and it was my first fumble of the season. It was like, I don't know, maybe the 10th, 12th game of the year. I think I only had 2 fumbles that season.
Right.
And one was against the Giants. We wound up losing that game in New York.
Oh.
Wow.
And Nueva York. And
that's where the Super Bowl was?
The Super Bowl was Pasadena.
That's right. I think my dad went to that, actually, the Giants and Denver Broncos.
So this is kind of a thing, though. Like, after you lost the Super Bowl to the Giants, you ended up going to... Did you go
hell? We went straight to hell.
Did you go to the Colts after, or did you go directly to the Giants?
We played another Super Bowl against the Redskins.
No, I know, year. But like after the Broncos, you went to 3. You had 3 Super Bowls.
What are you doing over there?
No, you had 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah, I went to New York
in your career, right?
Yep, the New York Giants, first year of free agency, which was
and then you went to the Giants.
1993.
So what is that?
You know, when you say 1900,
I know it's a long time ago.
So that's another.
So I have to do that.
That's another
1900s.
That's another moment like that we talked about earlier through
a Rolaids moment
before the before the velvet
play of the game.
before the red velvet vest with pennies. Like, what does it feel like? I mean, you're at the Super Bowl. That's got to be. How do you get back from that?
You ready?
How do you focus after
that? Look at the way she's sailing the sail. What a wondrous sight to see. People hurry on down from every town. Have a look at the Robert E. Lee.
Neil Young, or not Neil Young, Neil Diamond. I fucking listen to that. Yeah, baby. I know that.
They're high-fiving in the studio.
You know what? I have that on my listen.
So Neil Diamond sang "We're Coming to America."
That's
at
another
the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Bro.
Wow.
Oh no, it was crazy. You don't understand. So I'm black. For those of you that don't know, you're not watching the video. I'm a black guy, African American.
Are you serious? I didn't know that.
But, so he sings that, and guess what? The Blue Angels or the whatever the other name of the jet team fly over the stadium.
Right.
And I thought, I've arrived. It was just awesome. It was like the culmination of a dream. You know, as a kid, I played the NFL, which I really didn't have, but yeah, just
you're at the top of the game at that point. It was awesome. All these people left behind, and
John,
here you are.
It gets better. You ready?
Yeah.
So the first series, we get the ball first, and offense stutter. We get a holding penalty. So that's 3rd and 18.
3rd and 18.
Sound familiar?
Wow.
Same thing in Cleveland. We run the exact same route that we ran in Cleveland. I catch the ball. First down. Then I don't get in the game again
for the whole first half. I didn't even get to play again.
Oh
for the
my
whole first
God.
half. It was such a downer, man.
That is a downer.
It was an ugly.
Maybe you
Ugly
should,
game.
maybe you should have been in there.
That was the
They
effective
probably would have
pause.
won.
Oh man, I wish I was more like receivers today. They, put me in. I'm gonna do this. They're more verbal.
Yeah, verbal and
I wasn't.
yeah, that's
If I had any regrets, I wish I had been more.
everybody
like,
hear that? The
confident in
employees
myself
today are,
and-
it doesn't matter whether you're talking receivers or verbal, account managers, salespeople, they're all verbal today. Everybody's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Put
It's
me
not-
in.
Yeah.
Put me in, coach. Why
Put
am
me
I
in,
not-
goat.
Yeah. I'm ready to play today.
Anyway, so
Yeah. But yeah, we lose that game and then we lose another one. Then we lose another one. But the
so you've been to the Super Bowl, playing in a Super Bowl 3 times.
yes.
Wow.
4 AFC championships, 3 Super Bowls, 4 and 3 in AFC championship games. 3 and 4. It's just
Yeah, that's a wow. That's like the top of. I mean, there's so many dreams that have been left in the dust of people wanting to experience that. I mean, you're
no regrets.
you're a small percentage of people that have made that dream come true.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
even great players.
I agree.
When I think of great players.
So that's
how many great players never played in the
top
Super
of
Bowl?
the top of it. So now you're now you finish your NFL career. What does that look like?
Shit.
That's got to be
Everything just goes to hell.
Well,
It's got to be quite a
no,
trend.
not
I mean,
everything goes to hell,
Yeah, that's
but
it. That's
I
the
mean,
end of
it's
life.
got to be.
So-
Yeah.
That's what just shot me right at that point. It's
Well-
like, your NFL career's over? All right.
But it's got to be a transition that's difficult. So now you're going through another transition, and we're going to have bullet points of love,
That's exactly
tenacity,
hard work.
hard work. All those things come into play, right?
Self-doubt.
Self-doubt.
Self-doubt. Are there other? Did we come up with some more?
Yeah, there was one more.
There's
What
probably
was it?
some. Yeah.
God.
God.
God. Anyway, so
Oh, no.
so now you're cruising out of the
I'll
NFL.
tell you about a
and-
great story. I'll
Okay.
tell you one story about quitting again.
Okay. You
So
quit
you-
again?
Well,
So wait,
exactly.
this was
my
after?
God.
Was this like
is another
in
good story.
between?
So
We're
we're gonna go
post
back.
NFL, I think.
Thank God
right?
we have Alice in the room. So I quit my sophomore year because I just felt inadequate. I felt like I was like not even being recognized. And
We're
I
going
didn't really have a
back.
chance.
We're going back in time a
Yeah,
little bit. Yep.
like Michael J. Fox moment. So then let's fast forward to 1986.
Yep.
And we're in Greeley, Colorado, home of
Yeah.
Montford's cows.
yeah,
And,
and
a
the,
lot of stinky crap.
The NFL. That's where you guys had your
Greeley,
camp.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Yep.
You stayed
So-
at the dorms.
I'm like tired. I'm mad. I'm like frustrated. There's 14 receivers in camp. I really don't feel like I have a chance. And Mike Shanahan, who was my receiver coach, who's also the Broncos head coach.
Yeah,
for
we
a
know
couple
Mike
Super Bowls,
Shanahan.
who's also the dad of Mike Shanahan
Yep.
or Kyle Shanahan. Long and short is he was just riding me. And I didn't really understand at the time he was riding me because he saw potential for me actually making the team
Right.
as a 6th-round draft choice, which gives you really no chance to make the team. But I was showing some things that they were looking for. And I didn't get it at the time. I was a kid. But I was tired and I was done. So I had planned my escape. Like Barry Manilow. Write to me and escape.
You were going to do an Irish dip out of training camp?
Yeah. So I packed my bags. I had everything in the car. And I was waiting. After dinner, everybody goes to watch film that night. And we watch special teams first, and we do team, then we put in the installation for the next day. So that was the routine. And at that time, I was like, something done, man. So when everybody was going to watch film, I went to my car. And as I'm walking there, the same, not the self-doubt guy, but the guy's like, you're making the right decision. I mean, this is crazy. You got your degree from Purdue University. You're smart. You could do this. You don't need football.
Get the fuck out of here.
I was doing all this crazy stuff, right? And I got to my car and there was a guy. Hey, Jackson. Dude, it's night. It's nighttime. And there was one of the fans that just kind of hung around. That's how Greeley people are.
Yeah.
He's from LaSalle, Colorado. His name is Bill Angel.
Bill Angel.
Bill Angel.
Bill Angel. Is he
Bill-
still alive?
He is not. So Bill Angel, Les Shapiro, and Dan Reeves all died within 2 months of each other. It's another
that's so
really
you
crazy
stayed in
thing.
touch
Oh
through
yeah,
your career with
through
Bill
my career.
Angel.
You know why?
That's pretty cool.
Because he talked me off the wall.
Oh my God.
He was like just a diehard Broncos fan who said, What are you doing? You guys are supposed to. He knew our whole schedule and everything. It's so strange. I was like,
He's like, why is your car packed?
Exactly.
Like, what the hell are you doing? The Midnight
I
Express.
would give my right nut to like even have a chance to play for the Denver Broncos is what he told me. And I was like, you're right nut? Really?
Some
It's like,
people would give their left brain.
You're doing great. So he like fired me up. So you ready for another God moment? Here's a crazy
let's
God
hear
moment. So not only is his name Bill Angel, this is not, I can't make this up. This is
Right.
real. This is like real radio right here.
Yeah.
So I'm walking back now to go to film study, which if you're late, if you're just 1 minute late, if the
You didn't have a
door's close to the door,
backpack. You're not
it's,
running.
It's $500.
Oh my
What?
God.
So if you're just
Holy
late, well,
shit.
back then
Yeah, the backpack
that was a whole
moment.
week.
That
We
was
by
that
the
wasn't
way,
$500.
we got paid $500 a week to be in camp back then.
okay.
So it was a whole week's pay. And I'm like, what an ass. I'm stupid. I just like lost a whole week's pay. But I'm going back and I'm like, what the hell? As I get close to the building that we have our film study in, everybody's outside. And I'm like, oh, damn, they've already had a break. Guess what? It's $500 if you're late. If you miss a meeting, it could be up to a game check fine.
Oh my. What does that mean? That means you.
What was
For
it?
me,
Was
it was a little over $1,500.
Okay. Yeah.
Still a lot of money.
So back
Yeah.
today,
Back
that's
then,
like
I know.
that could be 100,000 or 200,000 bucks.
To me, it was like,
or more.
it was like, I'm working for 2 weeks.
Still a lot of money.
I'm working for
It's
3
a
weeks.
lot of money.
Back
still,
in the
yeah.
80s, $1,500 was a lot.
I get up and I see Orson Mobley of all people. He was my
Mobley.
ace. He was 6A and I was 6B. And I see him first and I'm like, oh man, he's gonna fucking. Nobody knew I missed. And then I said, what you guys doing outside? He goes, the electricity's out.
Oh,
another. You're
yeah.
right.
Another God
Another
moment.
God moment.
2 G's, baby.
I fucking love it.
So yeah, it's just crazy things like that that's happened over my life that's like lets you know that if you go after what here's what I believe. That I believe whether it's God, the universe, or whomever you want to believe in, you're rewarded for going after what is on your heart, what you believe in, what you feel, what you love.
Back to the love.
When
Yeah.
you go after it, when you pursue it, like obsess, no excuses, then you put your effort in, which is a minimum amount, really. Because when I think about it, I'm 5'9" on a good day, 165, 175 pounds. When I graduated Purdue, I think my rookie year, they listed me at 180. So it wasn't like I was this big, powerful, strong, and I did all these great things that the universe will actually multiply any effort that you put towards it.
Right.
And
I used to have a placard as the employees came out of back exit, and I had a placard over that that said, no excuses, do the work every day. And I got that from the Rudy.
Guess what? Some people would go out of that and see that and say, fuck John Conway, the asshole.
They would.
He's getting paid on my back and da-da-da. And what they don't understand is if they do the work, yeah, they may not make millions here, at this job, but they'll create the discipline that it takes to make millions.
And they'll grab the
pursue their
lessons.
They'll grab the lessons, right, exactly. And not show up mad, disappointed.
I found that a lot of those little things that I did, certain places and that companies did that where I was, those things were motivational, at least to me. Like, you know what I mean? You create a goal, you create these things, but there's also buzzwords and different things that you can excite people with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And create that
It's the right people,
Some people,
Some
you're
people,
right. Some
yeah,
people
well,
will never have the love.
No.
They'll never have the passion. And you
No.
can't help those people.
I'm going to give you a book. You ready?
Okay.
We're
Tribal
ready for it.
Leadership.
Oh,
It's by Dave Logan. And
Tribal leadership.
it's not the Dave Logan from the Denver Broncos.
I have that
KOA.
book.
Do you have that?
I do have that book. Yeah.
So
Okay.
awesome.
When I get home tonight, I'll send you a picture of it.
I've
Yeah.
I got a book to read.
It's a great
I
book.
believe you. It's like Good to Great to me on steroids. So Good to Great was a book about how do you go from good to great, and good is the enemy of great.
Let me ask you. Was transitioning to get to the NFL and to do the Super Bowls, was it harder to do that, or was it harder to transition away from that and be successful in a financial career or whatever you're doing?
I think much harder to translate that success. And here's why. As human beings, we tend to hold on to different things. It's hard for us to move on.
Yep.
And I wasn't able to really move on. So I was mad. So what happens is you can get mad, frustrated. So at the end of, not very many people leave when they want to leave when it comes to the NFL.
I get it.
And I led the team in receiving yards, second on the team in touchdowns. I had the most receptions, and I got cut by the Giants. They brought me back, but then they cut me again. And I was like, what the,
right.
what's going on? I thought it was based on production. But what you'll find out is not very many things are based on production. If it's a job, it's leveraged.
Right.
You're a leverageable tool, and that's okay. At some point, if you want to take the risk, you could become the entrepreneur and leverage others, right? Give them an opportunity. And I was so mad. I couldn't.
So did you find yourself?
It took me like 94, 95. It probably took me, I'm trying to think of what year, Jack. It probably took me like 6 years, 7 years to actually.
That's a tough
shake off the shit.
I know. I mean, because that's real shit. You're in the glitz. You're in the freaking catching passes from Elway, and then the next thing you know, you're not in the spotlight. You're not doing all this stuff. So do you find, if you had to look back on it right now, you use the same, if we go back, some of those same bullet points, because it sounded like, and this is the point of the whole show, was you walked away from a practice at Purdue saying, fuck it, I don't think I'm good enough.
Right.
So probably all those same experiences happened after in your transition.
Absolutely. Well, it's finding something. For me, it was finding something that I could fall in love with. So I did a lot of jobs.
Right.
I worked at Rapport Leadership. I worked at Caesar's Palace for a while. It was a great job. Get to see big boobs, silicone boobs, and drunk people on the weekends, and people losing all their money. People are excited, and people that are miserable. So I did a lot of jobs, but it wasn't until I found financial services that I found something that I absolutely love.
Right.
Here's why. I didn't understand it coming out of college. Had a degree from Purdue, but was clueless financially as far as what money is, how does it work, how do I multiply it, and how do I, secure a legacy, right? So there's so many people that don't. So that's my love now, is like, I love sharing. That's when I told you earlier, I like to do my own podcast. That's the podcast I would do.
Right.
It would be a financial podcast, just giving people little bits of information, great nuggets.
Well, we can change. We can change the studio out.
I know, this is awesome. I'm going to rent your studio.
We can have. You can rent it out.
Put dollar signs everywhere.
We'll negotiate a rent.
There you go. I'll pay it. A handsome way.
Love it.
Yeah, because it blesses so many people when they don't need to. They don't need to be a financial planner or analyst, but they do need to. So when you think of that hierarchy, like we were talking about the wheels, the balance, finance should be up there. So I say it's 5 F's: faith, family, finance, fitness, or your physical, right?
You brought that up. I might start a third rail after tonight. Although,
no, just drink
I gotta
another
stay
rail.
alive. Yeah, oh yeah,
you do, man.
No, I think that's wonderful.
Especially when you have kids.
I think
By the way, Mark brought a football signed. Look at this. Woo!
That is beautiful, man. Because there's a lot of love on that football. All the guys that signed that football are a part of the Denver Bronco Alumni Association, and the golf tournament we do, we all volunteer. Everything we do.
Great. So Tyrone Braxton.
Yes.
I loved watching him play. And then
everybody's got a nickname.
Rod Smith. Like Rod Smith. Yeah. freaking Rod, man. It was so cool seeing him. I mean, what a great day we had.
Rod Egloff, Blue.
Man,
Billy Thompson,
wish
Steve
I was
Watson.
there, but it's fine.
Steve Watson's the Blade.
Where the hell was Elway?
Who else? John Elway, Wood.
Yep.
Where the hell was John Elway? I hope he's listening to this podcast.
I know. Well,
John, where were you, man?
Ironically,
He probably
Jack
does
Elway,
listen to this
Jack
podcast.
Elway just followed me on Instagram.
Oh, nice.
Because I don't know if it has anything to do with this, but his son, it was interesting. It was enough to catch my eye. So,
all right, Jack.
Anyway,
tell John he needs to listen.
All right,
yeah, John.
So as we wrap up here,
up.
I know.
Yeah,
Just getting
this
started.
is a long show, but it's worth it.
We can 100%.
So we're
we can
wrapping up.
sit
So
here
what do we-
and we could do this. Like we could do this for many more hours. But Mark, I would love for you to repeat two things.
Mm-hmm.
The four F's, right? The four F's, and then the two books that you recommended. Because
wow, the four F's.
I absolutely love that you
Fucking
mentioned
Danny's
these.
been listening.
There's
I love
one
it.
more. I do like
Hey,
that.
I'm sorry.
So two
I do
books,
remember.
Good to Great by Jim Collins. It's for business people, for people that
But
want
it's
to be
such a
entrepreneurs.
great
How do you go
book.
from good to being great?
Right.
It's a bunch of Stanford. I think they had some Harvard guys on that team actually. That
So I've read
did
both of these
analysis.
books, by the
Great
way, and
books.
they're amazing.
That's why.
So yes,
But the tribal leadership book is awesome because it allows
Tribal
you
leadership.
Tribal leadership.
Yeah, you can see the different. He breaks it down to 5 stages, 5 types of people.
Mm-hmm.
And stage 1 is people that just don't care. They don't.
Right.
Life sucks is what he calls it. And then stage 2 is my life sucks, which is a huge jump from stage 1 because you're recognizing that, oh, John's life looks pretty good, but my life sucks.
Right.
Then I am great. Those are people that are accomplishers, but those are the people that are successful here in this business. And then we are great. That's a big jump because you go from I'm a lone ranger to I know that I can be so much more successful if I do it as a team or if I teach someone else what I do. And then the final stage, which I think you'll absolutely love this, is called Life is Good. And that's what Phil Jackson, who's the coach of the Bulls, he's not in that book, but he's quoted in some excerpts saying that when the Chicago Bulls were working on their 4th and 5th championships, they weren't playing against the competition anymore.
Right.
They were playing against themselves. How can we perfect the skill of basketball? And life and we all can experience that from time to time. So those are the 2 books.
And what are the four F's?
Faith, family, finance, fitness.
Oh my gosh. I love it. And then what are the bullet points, Danny?
Those are the whatever you. Yeah, that.
Yeah, what are the bullet points?
Love.
Tenacity was one of them.
Love. Start with love.
God.
Yep. Battling self-doubt.
Yep.
Put in the work.
Work hard.
You got to do the work.
That's always
That
going
was
to be
your question, John. That wasn't my question.
That's always going to be a bullet point. Anyway.
It's not my question.
Yeah.
What a great show.
We just did a recap.
So
There will be a quiz for anybody listening
will be a
to or
quiz.
watching this podcast.
I really wish that we could sit here for
Another couple hours.
5 more hours because we could hash out so much more.
We
But
need so much more beer to do that.
We would.
Did you have a
Hey.
keg in there?
We
Would
do.
you?
yes,
Oh my God.
yes, he does.
I want to work here.
So
You can.
we're welcoming you to as our 3rd host. So
Oh, wow.
no,
That would
so
be scary.
we really thank you for taking the time to be out here.
Mark, I mean, it's a pleasure and love talking the story, and kind of becoming a friend. We're going to have to hang out.
Kind of becoming a friend.
Yeah, we're a
We're
friend.
BFFs,
Mark.
man. We
Yeah.
play golf.
Hey,
I
Play
love
18
it.
holes of golf together.
we're basically
It's
family now.
solidified.
We're
Yeah,
family.
We're family.
Absolutely.
I wore my Bronco
We
gear.
ate dinner together.
Yeah.
We had dinner together.
We sat
are-
next to each
yeah.
other, so I can kind of feel her energy. So, who was your plus one?
So this is actually
Oh,
before we
yeah.
leave, I have to tell the story.
There we
Please
go.
So
Voluptuous plus one.
okay, all right. So my best friend was my plus one, and this is actually a funny story because everybody thought
You got
that
friends.
Thanks. I know. Actually, I have a personal life, and I have like a very small personal life outside of my professional life. But my best friend joined me. She's a big Broncos fan, and so I wanted her to join me specifically because I knew that she would appreciate coming.
I would never guess that. She was so stoic. She was hiding it.
No, because she was wearing literally her.
She was like,
there was some Super Bowl ring bling in there.
So,
I don't believe that.
Are you joking? She was the one wearing. She was wearing Bronco colors. She was very much into like what we're like. It was very subtle, but
her
it was
bra
very.
was orange.
It was very no.
I could see
it
the
was
straps.
Not. It was
I could
not.
see the straps.
So, anyways, so I told Michelle this story actually, and
oh, that's right. My wife was there.
Yes. So
I didn't notice straps.
So everybody sitting at our table thought her and I were a couple, and they kept telling us.
Oh, that's right.
They kept telling us.
The one guy was like, "Oh."
They were like,
I think they was going to ask where they honeymoon.
No, they were like,
I'm looking over there going, wow,
not the genius guy.
Yeah.
The genius guy was asking.
The genius guy.
So they kept saying they were like, I didn't catch on to this. And she did. I didn't catch on to this because I don't know. I don't catch on to these things.
Like me. Yeah.
And she was like, Dani, this is really weird because they think that we're a couple. They keep saying, what a beautiful couple you guys are.
Wow.
This was before IPMI in Columbus. And there was a couple Broncos from Columbus that were on the 50 Super Bowl
there was
team.
an empty seat on the right side.
And I had people asking for my number because they were like, oh, well, you and Dani are going to be in Columbus. I know he wasn't giving, he went out of his way to give me my that we both had each other number. Right. I know it wasn't because of me.
Well,
he's like, oh, you and Dani, we should get together while you're in Columbus. I'm
what
like,
a great time that was.
Okay.
No, but,
I did not know that story. So that's a great backstory.
So it was actually really funny. And so now her and I joke all the time. We're like, we're such a beautiful couple. Because that's all people kept telling us. They're like, you're such a, and like, we weren't like, I mean, we're best friends. We're not.
Maybe we should do a happy hour and celebrate.
Your seats were like kind of close together.
Well, we're best friends, but we're not like.
Maybe we should do a happy hour and celebrate your your wedding anniversary.
This show's going off the rails.
I told her
something. There was one person missing from that. I invited a friend of mine, and she said, how about a 1.75? I said, will you be my plus one? And she said, how about a 1.75?
What the hell is that? What's a 1.75?
So she didn't come.
She didn't come.
Yeah,
but
that was the seat.
That
was the seat on my left.
I don't know. People thought that we were a beautiful couple, and we did not.
I thought you were a beautiful couple.
I thought so too. So I was like, I'd
like to see you guys together again.
I told her, I was like, I told her
after like 25 beers.
I was like, we are going to write this out, and we're just gonna, who cares? Like, it's not a big deal. And that's exactly what we did.
Well, I think this is a wrap, Mark. It's been a pleasure. Dani, it's been a pleasure.
I gotta give her a shout out though, because Beth.
Definitely. Beth.
What's her last name?
Beth Riley.
Beth Riley.
Ooh, Beth Riley.
Wow. Beth Riley is now, we've made her famous of our 15,000.
We're gonna have her on our podcast soon.
Yeah.
And she will
really?
be on
We are?
So. Yes.
Is she worthy of 15,000 followers? I don't know.
This is my best friend who I told that story about the valet story.
Okay, well I'm gonna have my friend on to Flip.
No way.
No, John.
Flip from upstate New York.
I'm sorry.
Can drink freaking 25 beers in 5 minutes.
You guys don't make a beautiful couple, okay?
We don't.
So we cannot have him on.
When you have Beth on, just let me know. I'll come back.
Mark Jackson and the Beth Show, Beth Riley Show. That's what we're going to do next.
Well, thanks so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Goodbye, everybody. Good night.
Oh, my God.
Good night, Paul.